I'm not afraid of my children. I can be wary, I can be careful, but I'm not afraid. You can't help anybody out of fear. These are our young people. And somebody, both male and female, and while I'm on it, I want to commend my sisters that's had to be the soccer coach, the security guard, the cook, the tie-tyer. I want to commend my sisters that have had to fulfill just about every role imaginable on behalf of children, both theirs and others. Or where would we be without praying mothers? Where would we be without some sisters that know how to love and know how to share? Now, brothers, that should not let us off the hook. There will become, in this SOS, we have to send a clarion call to men. Not those who think they're men. Because all they do is make work work. Let me get that. There are two kinds of people in the world. People that make work work, and then there's people that make work work. The ones that make it work. The ones that make it happen. I try to help those who make work work, but I can't stay over here because sometimes the very ones that are trying to help the young people have not overcome the same or similar issues that the young people have. Oh, it's tight in here, but that's all right. Because without pain or without some kind of ouch, we can't grow. The next and last is that we cannot afford to lose another generation of young people. How many of you want your Social Security check? Let me just see if you didn't get it yet. I want mine. All of this, he still got his hand up. I see you, Al. I was giving a speech in the middle of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I had about 200-300 people. This was back in the 80s. And they wasn't feeling Fonzo. They wasn't feeling his word, his fervor. They wasn't feeling his jokes. They were just looking at me. So I just did a little, sometimes you got to do one of these jammies. I turned away, asked for some help, and turned back. And I asked the same question that I asked you to this group of folk. How many of you want your Social Security check? And all of the hands went up. These were job service providers through a federal program working with poor people to get them work experience as a matter of background. So I told them, if you want your check, I hope this day never comes where you go to your mailbox and there's something in there from your government that says, I am so sorry, but we don't have any money for you. I know you thought that you had a personal account and your money was put in there, but there was no personal account. It is actually the next generation of workers that come up that's going to pay for your check. This was during the height of the Reagan administration, I might add parenthetically. And then I went on to say, well, at least the letter went on to say, we did not know that all of those young people that we failed to develop, that we failed to outreach, that we sent to schools that were not educating, that we just left by the wayside, we didn't know that all of those young people that was going now and feeding into the prison industrial complex, y'all know prison is a business. We didn't know that we needed them for your check. So when I finished that little soliloquy, I said, I don't care if you rode in here on a donkey or an elephant. I don't care if your colors are blue or red. If you want your check, then do the work and invest in our young people. And that's why WIN got a winning strategy, because they are investing. They are investing in our children, not just their children, but our children. And because of WIN, we are equipping our children and putting them in position so that they can win. I want you to tell your child, tell your grandchild, tell your children in your churches and in your programs that they are in competition with every young person on the face of this earth. And that was not the reality when you and I grew up. We thought our competition was somebody that was trying to take our little girlfriend, little boyfriend. That's about as deep as competition. But because of globalization, the world has shrunk. And because goods and services can follow the internet, a market can be set up anywhere. That's why when you call for technical assistance, 9 times out of 10, your call is not going to Dayton, Ohio. It's not going down to Laredo, Texas. It's going to India. See, they know, they trained them, try to get rid of an accent, but they can't say my last name. They can't say Wyatt. When I hear that, I say, okay, I know where I'm at now. Just an observation. Is your child equipped to function in a globalized economy? Or are you content to have a 48-year-old wake up late on a Saturday asking Mom, what's for breakfast? Young people, let me see my young people. Anybody under here 25 and under? Stop that line in church. This is an extension of church. Oh my goodness gracious. I want you to know that there will come a time when you have to stand on your own 2 feet. And parents, your job, and guardians, your job, and community parents, your job is to equip our young people so that he or she can stand on their own in this globalized economy. And what doesn't work is, you know what I'm saying? No, the boss will say, no, I don't know what you're saying. You just can't show up and talk about, I'm from the 40 crew. Nobody care about that. Nobody cares about that. And see what happens when our young people's world must expand, and if they're not equipped, look, talk slang all you want, but you better be trilingual in this world. And one of them need to be a foreign language. A friend of mine's son has spent a year in an immersion program in China. And some folk, we can't even get to go across the street. I get phone calls from groups all around the country asking if I could set up ministry opportunities so that their children from Indiana can come, stay, and work in a homeless shelter. Now ask some of ours, how much we gonna get?